Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Wednesday the 5th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got this morning pretty early, not too bad. Let the dogs out a couple times in the middle of the night. I don't know if he needs to go out that often or if he's just getting into a new routine of feeling he wants to go out that often. So let them out though, got him back in. Mostly it was my dog that wanted out. The one young Rottweiler is still in the crate, so I didn't bother bringing her out of the crate. She didn't whine or nothing, so I left her in there for the early mornings, the overnight, I guess, walks outside in the yard. So went ahead though, kind of hung around a little bit, got up at normal, fairly early time, got all the dogs out, got them all taken care of, got them all out there, get their potties in, got everybody fed. It's a little bit on the interesting side because some of them, like the one George, he doesn't seem to want to eat for me. I don't know what's up with him. He's barely eating at all, but he's still pooping, so he's got food in him somewhere, but I'm not sure where it's coming from because he ain't eating much of the food that I'm giving him. So but yeah, the Rottie's eating good. They're playing well, everybody's having a good time, and they're acting normal and stuff, so I'm not really too concerned about it, but it is what it is. So yeah, everything's good. Jack's here, the lab, and super crazy hyper, he's so much fun. He gets so excited. The only problem with him I have really with him is he gets a little bit diggy here and there, but the big one with him is he gets so excited about food that he's just so food I guess driven. He's not aggressive or nothing, but like if you have his bowl, like I'll go feed him out in the lanai, and like even to open the door he's like freaking out. I have to make him like set and wait to kind of control his behavior, but when he sees me walking at the bowl towards him, he's just like spinning around in circles. He's so damn excited, and it just makes me sad. I don't know why it makes me so sad, but he is super excited to eat. So I get him out there, get him fed, get all the dogs fed. Takes a little bit of time, keep them all separated and getting them all fed alone. And I left George by himself for a while to have a chance to eat with no other dogs around, so there's no stress or nothing. And he ate a little bit, but not that much. So went ahead though, hung out for the day, had a couple things around the house to get done. Nothing real major. Ended up hanging up a couple items I had and kind of figuring out in my head what I'm taking with me on the cruise. Went ahead and ordered a couple other items. One of them came in as a little gift for my wife that I ordered in for the cruise, and then my gift, the second gift I guess that we ordered, didn't show up. So we'll have to see if it comes or not in time, but who knows. It's really hard telling. So but went ahead and basically from there just kind of hung out with the dogs. 3D printer screwing up still. I don't know what's going on with it. I think I might have figured it out. I'm not certain, but I think my filament has gotten moisture in it because it's Florida. It's humid as hell here, and the stuff is really bad about when it gets moisture inside. And actually, I'm not certain it's what I heard, but I swear I heard like a little bit like almost like a burst, like a tiny bubble popping. And from what research I've done, it could be the water boiling in the filament. And when it boils, it bursts, and then it basically creates a gap in there, which clogs up the filament head and all the good stuff, and the nozzle and everything else. So been trying my best on that. I pulled that filament that seems to be the worst of it, and I think different companies that make different filaments are more susceptible to humidity than others, and they say the pigment draws more of the moisture than the actual filament itself does. So the one that I was having trouble was the 2-color, had multiple color pigments in it. So who knows, maybe that was what part of my problem is, but we'll see. Went in and ordered a bunch of silica packs, and then I ordered a actual filament dryer. Has a fan, has a heater, and the whole 9 yards. And they say depending on what filament you have to how hot you're supposed to run it and all that good fun stuff. But I'm gonna have like basically a little electric heater that heats my filament, blows air across it to basically dry it out. And a lot of the research I've done, a lot of them just have a heater, no fan, and they claim it doesn't work that great. You can also throw them in your oven at like 150 degrees, whatever, and you can basically chuck in the oven for like 2 hours. That seems like such a waste of electricity to heat your oven and heat your house for filament. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'll probably, once I get the dryer in, my goal is to also order a bunch of bags, I guess, too, to seal them up in. They're reusable. My vacuum sealer is actually too strong, and it's ripping through my bags because the way the filament rolls are, it's actually bursting the bags. So I'm wasting plastic there. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'll dry them all because they've all been open. I'll dry them all, throw them in the vacuum seal bags, and then before when I go to print them, I'll chuck the printer outside with the heater. I don't know if I'm gonna do the dryer because the way my thing's set up with the tent, I probably can't do it at the same time, but I'll probably throw it in the dryer one last time go from there. I know one of the guys, he basically dried his filament out and he lost literally a cubic centimeter of water. So imagine like a dye, like a small dye, like you're playing dice, the amount of water out of his probably half a roll of filament. So that's a lot of water in there to be able to pull out of the dryer, and he's able to figure it out by weighing it on a very detailed, accurate scale. So that's how much humidity came out of the filament. So definitely it is a thing. It is something that happens. So hopefully I can get this fixed and get it all figured out when I head over to that. So I spent a bunch of money on my printer that such dumb stuff. Like it's just, I'm having fun with it, but it's just a waste of money. It's just a hobby. But I don't go to bars. I don't do that kind of stuff, spend money there. So I don't buy NFL tickets, that kind of thing. So this is basically just a little hobby I'm throwing money at the moment. So it is what it is. But I got a couple other things around the house done. Ended up giving back 2 of the dogs. They went home. They were supposed to pick them up late this evening, and then she ended up wanting to pick them up early, which I said absolutely no big deal. So she got them picked up, and they were good to go. And then I decided, well, I'm going to go ahead and go for my run. I'm going to get my run done a little bit earlier than normal. Normally I run later in the afternoon, and I said to hell with it and decided to go ahead and run. So I took off. Get my run. It's just the one dog at the house now, Jack, and then Bruce, of course. But hung out there on my run. There's a shop near me in my neighborhood that I see the door open randomly. I never see anybody outside, and it's got like old hot rods in there he's working on and stuff, a couple of lifts and whatnot, and never have stopped because that weird thing of you're walking up on somebody's property when the door's open, hollering is one thing, but if you can actually see them outside, it's a lot easier. So as I went by, there's a couple guys outside, so I stopped and chatted with them for a little bit, basically asked them to go right, asked them a question about the hot rod shit, and then basically asking if there's any place around I can like rent garage space with a lift, because I want to change out my brakes and swap my axles out and spindles and all that stuff with my Suburban. And they basically said no. I said, you know, I have like hot rod buddies that are looking for more projects, just don't have the money to buy the parts, because I'd be happy to pay them, you know, I'll buy all the parts and I'm happy to, you know, rent their space and even pay them if they want a little extra work. So depending on how far away they are, it'd be inconvenient for me to go there and work on it all the time. But I just don't want to pay a shop $150 an hour, which may turn into, you know, $25,000 to put brakes on my van, on my Suburban. So, and it's not just you can't really look in the book and see it says take 8 hours. It's one of those things where this may take 8 hours, it may take 24 hours, and at $100 an hour, that's a lot of money. You know, you're looking at, you know, $2,400 minimum. Somebody's going to charge me to put brakes on that thing, plus the $5,000 for the brakes. So, not sure it's worth it, but it is what it is. So. We chatted a little bit. They said, "Didn't know anybody," and I kind of hinted towards, hey, if you see somebody and you think about it, something comes up, and you hear about it, next time I see you out, I'll probably stop and bullshit again. Nice guys. One guy's house, the other guy that lives behind him, neighbor. They were talking a little bit and that. So we were talking about the fact of how hard it's fun to shop around here. I went to build one, and the quotes are ridiculous, and the building setbacks in here are a pain in the ass. So when he moved down here years ago, he had the requirement of having a pre-built shop. Had to be within 30 miles of Daytona. I assume, I don't know if it's the NASCAR or if it's like Turkey Rod Run, car shows and stuff up there, but he wanted to be within 30 miles of Daytona and had to have a shop. So at the time, there was only 3 houses, and this is the one he ended up with. So really nice shop. He's actually enough room he could build on probably another 20 foot to the front, but it looks like he doesn't need it. So, and who knows, kind of is what it is. I'd even find, if I could find somebody at the shop that doesn't have a lift or nothing, I'd be willing to buy them a lift if they would then basically help me use their space and put the brakes and stuff on my Bourbon. So it'd be cheaper than going to a shop and paying somebody else to do it, but you know how that kind of goes. So yeah, we'll see what happens and go from there. So, but yeah, talked to those guys for a while, finished up my run, and then got back to the house. Got a couple of things done around the house real quick. I had some stuff to work on, I worked on. I got back to the house and went to get in. I'd locked the door so in case somebody else walks in and stuff. I never made an extra set of keys for the front door, so usually they go through the garage. I finally got remotes for those now, little handheld remotes. And then I just texted my mother and said, hey, actually I called her, so would you go and lock the door for me instead of messing with going around and stuff. She said, yep. So she goes over and unlocks the door. I stand there and stuff, and then she starts to open the door, and I'm like, and I look in, and the gate's not shut. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? We have a gate here for a reason. She goes, well, I thought you were going to come through. And I said, that's even worse, because now you got the gate and the door opened up to each other. I know Jack ain't gonna run out because he's not that dog, but it's the same thing if there's anybody here, if there's any client's dog at all. I don't care if it's in the backyard. Leave the gate has to be shut before you unlock the door. And it just, I'm like, we've had this talk a bunch of times, and she's trying to defend herself, like, oh, I'm just doing this because, I'm like, no, that's not how the fucking rule goes. Like, I can't ask you to unlock the door for me anymore. So I was really kind of pissed off about that. So I said, screw it, before I even got anything else done. Said to hell with it, grabbed my car keys, house keys, I haven't had another set made yet, and said, screw it, jumped in the vet, ran down to my local hardware shop that does all my keys and stuff for me, and had him cut me a new set of keys. I should have done before, I just hadn't. And it was working out for me, so it wasn't a big deal. But when I got them set, I'd already installed a lockbox outside my house, bolted to my house with a combo on it, like a real estate box. And when it got the keys, so I'm all done. So I don't have to ask her to unlock the door for me anymore. I should have never been asking her before, so it's 100% my fault for even allowing the opportunity to happen. But it was just that, like, damn, if a dog ever gets lost and gets like killed or gets hit by a car or something, it's my fault. I'm done doing this business. I can't make that call twice. Like, if I had to call somebody and say, hey, your dog's dead because of me, that's gonna destroy me emotionally. And that's the last time I ever do this job. Like, I'll have to go do something else. I don't know what I'll do, but it won't be this. So this is a $500,000 mistake. And it breaks down. You figure the next, the rest of my life, it's a lot of money coming in that I don't really want to dick with. I don't want to lose. So yeah, that's definitely, it was stressful. So yeah, I got that done. But I got new keys, so I'm all good to go. I got a set of keys in the box, so all that's done. Went ahead and jumped in the shower. Wife got home from work. She went ahead and we had ourselves a nice little dinner, watched another episode of Seinfeld. Then I headed back outside. Jack and Bruce and I out there smoking cigars, and the 3D printer seems to be running good the rest of the day. It was running still. I started up at print to run overnight, and who knows, we'll see what it does. Well, hopefully it doesn't do bad. Hopefully it continues to run, and it's just that film was too wet. That's what I think the goal was. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.